Clearly, I am not a pro in this, but what I can remember is that when I used to be young, I used to play such games. Of course, the technology wasn't this much, but now the technology has really grown, and even we have Kenyans who are playing pro and competing globally. So I may not be a pro, but you'll get to meet some pros. About 1/3 of the entire world population are gamers. According to Statista, there are currently more than 2.4 billion gamers in the world, and Kenya has not been left behind. Brian Dianga, also known as the Best, has been gaming for as long as he can remember.
I remember I was in nursery school, and my uncle had come back home with this Terminator. The console was called Terminator, and it had a gun. And you know, back then we were watching a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Commando, and Chuck Norris, so we were like police and robber all the time. And then he brought the gun home, and I was like, wow, so you can shoot things on the screen. And it's from that point I fell in love with gaming, and it proceeded on. I went to class 1. There was a gaming cafe open next to my school called After Homework. Apple took a finesse, and I became good, and I just continued. And then in another phase of my life, things were very dark, and now gaming became my escape. Like, my new reality was gaming. Like, everything didn't make sense. The only thing that made sense for me was gaming. So most of the time I would be found at gaming dens.
A few years ago, gaming was not much of a profession. However, now we have pro gamers who are making a living not only in Kenya, but across the world. The gamers have moved from playing just for fun to competitive tournaments, and companies coming to sponsor these tournaments.
Professionally, I started gaming, I think, in 2013. Professionally now, for money. When I realized you can get money from this, I started from 2013, and to date I've been doing that. The EAG, East Africa Gaming Convention, that was the first check I had, but I had been in many tournaments before this. This was in I think it was in 2017. So, but before that I had gotten a few zile marupurupu ndogo ndogo, like, you know, yeah. But this was the main one that I ever got, and then after that it just continued.
The growth of esports has not only opened doors of opportunities not only for gamers, but for entrepreneurs who own gaming parlors, designers, and distributors of gaming equipment.
My name is Gift Mirie, the co-owner and founder of Banabo Gaming Lounge. Welcome to the world of gaming.
Gift Mirie and his childhood friend took advantage of these opportunities to make their dream a reality of owning a game parlor.
My partner Ochino and I are very good friends since we were kids. We've been neighbors since we were like 5 or 6. And one thing we always did together was play games, video games together. So we loved playing PS, playing FIFA, playing Tekken, and anything that comes with it. And so we always used to do it within our small cohorts of friends. And so one thing that we actually came out to see is that we really loved spending time gaming. So when we were in campus, because none of us owned a PS at the time, we used to go to different outlets in town to actually play games. So the place called Tricks, a place called Campus Mall, Hazina Towers, I can remember all of them. And we'd spend a lot of time and money there. So we looked at it and said, it's actually a viable business that can actually make profit, and it's fun to do.
The business is now home to both amateur and professional gamers, and hosted the first esport tournament organized by Kenyans on Twitter.
We did a FIFA tournament. It was the first esports tournament done in Kenya, organized by KOT. So we had a gentleman called Joel who won. He was part of a team of 32 guys who competed from the very beginning. Ultimately, I think we had 150 guys who came through to the location. It was very bad for traffic, to be honest, but very good for ourselves as a business, as well as cross-selling opportunities for other stores around us. So the guys who sell beverages and food also got to thrive from interaction from people who actually came for the tournament.
With the rise of esport across the globe, thousands have been sustaining themselves with their earnings from the tournaments, with some pocketing more than $1 million USD from tournaments. However, according to pro gamer The Beast, Kenya has a long way to go, especially due to the geographical location, not only of the country, but the continent as well.
Geographically, where we're placed, most of this equipment is expensive. That's number one. Number two, if you look at the poverty and whatever ratio in Kenya, poor people are many of them. Like, there's a lot of poor people than rich people. So, like, from my experience, what I've seen is people who are well off, like, most of them don't put like 100% while doing this. You know, they're doing it for kicks sometimes, it's for leisure, but for somebody like me, when I decided it's this, it's either that or I'm missing a form. So somebody can do it as a career, yes, but I think it will take time before you can say that you can do it standalone. So like for me, I have to balance. So I work for Pro Series Gaming, and I do for them what we call, I'm a junior league esport operator. So my job is to do online and offline tournaments, from setup, arranging guys, making the rules, and making sure the tournament happens. I do photography, I paint, I do graphic design. So this enables me to balance with my gaming. So, you know, haba na haba, jazz. But if we were in a place like US or Europe, I'd live off this easily. I mean, look at the world, the most paid or the highest paid YouTuber with the highest following is a gamer. It is not even a professional gamer. He's a streamer. He just makes content from gaming. So it's very possible. And with the light that is being shed on gaming at this specific time, it brings the goal closer.
Sylvia Gathoni, also known as Queen Arrow, says as much as esport is rising in Kenya, there's a lot of awareness that needs to be done for it to be accepted as a viable career, especially for young people.
We need the society to come in and start accepting technology. And by accepting technology, it also means accepting the careers that may potentially come from it, like esports, and also understand that all games can also be can also have educational value. And number two, we also need the government to start stepping in by providing funding and tax subsidies for stuff like consoles and televisions and such.
Despite the current shortcomings in the sport, Gift and the Beast agree on one thing: the future of esport in Kenya is bright.
The opportunity that we saw was two. One, there was a partnership opportunity with a lot of sponsors who actually would target an audience that is similar to ours. Remember, the guys were targeting guys within the teenage years and maybe the 20s who have been gamers throughout their entire life. They're looking at opportunities in which they can actually target such a market and actually make the most out of it. So we've seen an opportunity whereby we can actually grow not only as an e-sport sort of thing, but also on a location point of view. So we can only accommodate a maximum of 8 people here, but we can grow it to be something further that has a lot of tournaments within either regions such as Nairobi and Mombasa and Kisumu, or even getting a national champion can be really good. We've seen competitions in the world whereby we have people competing. Even I think recently there's one which was done by a PSG whereby we had people from Kenya competing with guys in Nigeria for an ultimate prize. So hoping that we can actually scale and tap into that sort of market whereby guys can actually get to come to a place like Manabao and actually train, build up the skill, and actually sign up for a big global tournament. Who knows? It can be the world champion of FIFA.
In 2019 alone, more than $235 million was awarded across more than 5,400 tournaments. That's compared to just $13.8 million recorded by tracking website Esports Earnings in 2012.
What makes the earnings in those places high is, number one, they have corporates supporting them, behind them, a lot of them, you know. For us here, I can say Safaricom, I can say Red Bull, and a few others, Liquid Telecom. And it's just them, and then nobody else is into gaming. But if you look at somewhere like US, man, if you look at the sponsors down there, Asus Computer, Rogue Computer, I don't know, Astro, there's every brand is there, Samsung, Sony, everyone is there. Those are just the brands for the bado jaingia kwa companies too on the side, you know. So it's like they understand what this is. And that's what that's what we are trying to do right now, is to make the masses understand this. Because imagine if this was able to pay the way it pays out there. I mean, so many youth, like you, mambo ya joblessness, then itakuwa cut by half. Because there's a lot of people who can game even better than me out here, you know, and they just need such opportunities. I mean, somebody just came and said, wow, this guy can game, and they gave me the opportunity, and I took it, you know. So there are many other people out there who can do it even better than me. They just need to be exposed. They're not going to be exposed by one company. We need a lot of companies to invest in this, because I mean, if you look at the future we are heading into, it's a tech future, you know.
With increasing awareness and corporate support in esports in Kenya, Brian, Sylvia, and Gift can only look forward for a brighter future in the world of esports.